was mostly for um, talking about year plans versus like motivation, and definitely not about art trends, even though art trends is probably my biggest thought right now. But you know, I won't, I'm not gonna complain. It's just I guess people want to know more about thoughts, my thoughts about things. Okay, let's that works. So y'all just being cute for the first year, huh? Well, I hope 2024 end up being a really cool and fun year. Especially now more and more things are like open back up now at this point. In spite all that's going on, but it's still, you know, we got something. But yeah, my goals for this year, specific to the channel in general, is I do want to post more, but I'm probably gonna I may end up posting like I said, once a week with a couple of shorts. And I already have my list of videos that I hope to to launch, or rather, yeah, to work on. So I just need to sit down and actually work on it. So mm, this tea is already cold. Okay, let's see. Man, stay young. Try your best to stay young because everything is trying to stress us out. I think I decided to change how she's gonna look like in this one. This looks like scribbles from afar, doesn't it? Okay. Let's see here. It's supposed to be like this, right? I think this looks like a little bit messy, don't it? Yeah, let's do that. Why won't you? I guess this doesn't change. Oh, this doesn't. Okay, it does. I'm like saying what happened. There you go. Ah, I see. Hmm. Maybe a little zoomed in a little bit more. See if that works. Yeah, that's pretty good. Lately, the glitches have been like getting to me now. Mm. But as I was saying, I'm definitely going to be posting more videos. I'm going to definitely work on this comic, but I also hope to start on a shorter project in terms of comics. But I have a, I guess, younger. It's kind of young adult or light novel esque. I guess more light novel over young adult since it's not gonna really. I guess it doesn't really have romance in it, but just like a two-part short novel story that I want to work on. And I think those will be like the biggest projects because even though they sound like they might be smaller, but it takes time to do things. And if you see my prior track record, it's definitely not something that I can, I can't put a bunch of it because I also am starting a lot of new like training and stuff at work. Other than that, I would say my biggest thing right now is um a trip that I'm going to be taking this year, and I will not spoil it. I will record a little bit of it, but for the most part, you could probably guess like where I would end up going. But that's a special up for a little later. come on in and let me know. How is EBS so far? Because, like, I know there's been a few comments about asking me to do stuff in EBS Paint, but I don't. I'm so used to Photoshop right now, and I have so much access to Photoshop that it trying to use EBS right now is not like gonna work, you know? Mm, okay. And Photoshop have changed over the years quite a lot, so but my job requires me to keep up with it, but it's definitely been changing a lot. And I honestly don't think most computers now have the actual computing capacity to actually work on it, you know? Oh, another thing I was thinking of actually is to step away from digital tools because I use so much of them, and now, you know, digital is going through its revolution again. I want to really fill out like I not fill out, but I really want to like work more on using some of the traditional media that I have. So stuff like this, but it'd probably be mostly like black and white, monochromatic with some pops of color here and there. But I don't know. I might start a new sketchbook. I may have a couple of large sketchbooks that I haven't started yet. I want to work on those. And then just side things is that I have a business that I'm trying to drum up for. And I think yes, I do have. Let me double check. I'm sure I have like a bunch of extra sketchbooks somewhere. Papers. I might, yeah, I think I might. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm gonna put this here back. I actually might end up going to get me a sketchbook. Ain't that funny? It is. I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I may make me a sketchbook. I might do that. It depends. I do have quite a bit of paper, so. Sometimes you just gotta start to get yourself actually in the groove of doing stuff. So I'm glad I'm doing this. Because I tell you, I was definitely taking a couple of drinks to enjoy, and I end up getting myself to work on this. And although my live streams tend to be pretty quiet, I think I might do these a couple of times because it forces me to get myself working, you know? I should probably learn to do like sound effects or whatever. Well, hello, Riza. Thank you for coming on by. Yeah, it ended up being pretty quiet. I know. We were just chatting about silly things, but mostly things about our goals for 2024 that's in relation to art, because I'm sure we have all sorts of other goals, typical goals. One of my goals that's kind of in relation to this channel is traveling, but again, I'll post more about that later. Um, I'm definitely going to start a new sketchbook. I tend to not keep them that much, and I actually do have a bunch of smaller sketchbooks, but I kind of want like a medium-sized sketchbook right now. So I have to think about where I'm going to buy one or if I'm going to make one, because I have books, but they're like higher quality paper that's a little bit too thick to just do like quick sketches. But I'll think about it. I might use this one, and I'm just gonna test it out first to see if it works with both markers and my watercolors. So let me know if you have any art goals you don't mind sharing. I'm not doing too bad. I'm doing fine. I'm not too bad, just basic life things. Um I definitely, I guess one of my goals that is not art pertaining, but I'll share, is definitely being more careful with my sleep. Like, I really want to have just good sleep because there's a big difference, and I know you're more productive that way. I'm way past the age of just like keep going without resting kind of thing. Sometimes my thumbnails are just hard to understand. What goes after this? I'm gonna go check the rest of these thumbnails because I did this a little bit too far. I started doing some UI UX, and then I quickly realized that I it's just going to run into the same problem that I am currently having with my professional art job. So I'm thinking I'm just going to expand upon what I have to give myself more career opportunities, and then pick up some bookkeeping. But yeah, I looked at UI because I used to try to do like graphic design, and my brain just doesn't go by the numbers and the ratios. At a point, I just be like, it's good enough. And I need to do better than that too. I need to like not just be good enough kind of thing. So 68 hours is not enough for me, I think. I sometimes I do 7, but what happened is I can get the hours. I'm just not getting the good deep sleep. I've been taking more herbals and more minerals because I heard like magnesium helps. So I've been taking more magnesium and zinc, and I'm making sure to do exercise just so I could like really warm up my body and tire it out. And then when I give it a good like a good workout, whatever, those endorphins or whatever, and then I take a nice shower, really just getting into like a meditative routine of I will sleep and I will recover kind of thing. That's important for me. Like, it's important. And then, the next day I've noticed that I don't need as much coffee, and coffee never woke me up. Coffee only helps like quiet the headache that I would get if I don't get a good night's sleep. So I'm just really am gonna really focus on getting some good sleep so I can do more work. So okay, so you're gonna do both front end and back end. So you're not just UI UX, but like doing some programming in there. Yeah, because I think at least when I was doing research, I think maybe about a year and a half ago, everybody started posting about being a UI UX designer, and then next thing you know, everybody started getting into it, and then I just kind of like back off because I'm not passionate about it. I really am just going for the money, and then I'm like I'm already in a career that requires experience. Now I have some experience, like work experience. Let me just expand upon the knowledge that I have, so that way I'm more valuable to the workforce, especially with AI coming in and doing a lot of like replacing a lot of like just like filling out a work order type of thing. Like I'm just drawing something. Like there's more to it now, which I think is the same thing for UI, right? You have to not just make pretty buttons and a layout. You need more of that, like the whole design concept. Like you're being like a design consultant or something like that. So okay. Yeah, no, I sleep with like um dark curtains and with a sleep pad. It's just I'm naturally a night person. I'm halfway a night person, right? So my natural sleep tendency is around 12, 1 o'clock. I think my circadian rhythm, whatever chemicals that your body does to get you to sleep is naturally that. And then I don't want to wake up until 9 o'clock in the morning, but I have to go to work before then. You know what I mean? So my sleep pattern end up being disturbed. So even when I try to go to bed earlier, I end up not sleeping deeply. So I'm just trying to like force myself. And it's been something like that for years, but because now, I'm getting older, you start to really feel how if you don't take care of yourself, you won't have the body there when you need it. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Because I'm so used to reading like manga, I started drawing right to left instead of left to right again. Okay, so I know what I did wrong. That's why the thumbnails wasn't making sense to me. Okay. So I this whole thumbnail does not match anything that's going on here. I wonder if that's still a thing. Like, is people still talking about, oh, you shouldn't draw right to left or whatever? I particularly don't care about art dramas at this point. Like, I don't have time, and there's just too much other things going on for me to care. How do you, okay. Um, okay. Did it? Mm, we're gonna paste it here. And then we're just gonna just not let it be seen. There you go. Fixed. That explains why I was like, what is going on? Why am I not catching up with this? Yeah, I gave up, I think, after the first module of the design thing for the UI on the Google certificate, only because I just don't care. When you just don't care anymore, you're just kind of like, okay. So, it just lets me know that I could not see myself doing this job every single day. Okay, I think I understand what's going on. This is why you should do like thumbnails and then do your pencil sketches in all in one go. face needs to be bigger. Mm. Honestly, don't developing like a body dysmorphia of like size, height, and all that stuff is it's a thing. It's even more funny when you try to like use it as a photo reference. You thought you did like some great photos, and then the next thing you'd be like, why is my hand so awkward or something? We all probably have the goals to draw more next year. Cause man, I'm telling you, each somehow we're already at the end of this year, and I definitely appreciate what I was able to do this year, but there's definitely some things that I could have done more. Well, I could have done more. Like you could have done more, but you're just I just wanted to I don't know, there was a lot. Let's see. I asked for a raise, then I asked for training on top of a raise. They did give me the raise, but of course that's eaten up by inflation. But still, like now it's like, okay, I asked for this, all of this stuff, and now I have to actually do it. And it'll be great for me. And they already started. They're like, oh, that's cool. Okay, cool. Here, and there's that. And I started a business. I've made two sales, two sales, but still, I'm glad to have it. I'm having more and more ideas about it. I I will say that it's not like I haven't started things before. Um, I've been here since the start of DeviantArt. I've been here since YouTube. If you look at my account, it's actually like 10 plus years old. And I've been posting maybe 3 plus years, more than 3 years. No, because that was before. Probably a lot longer. I probably have old videos, and I still only have less than 4,000 subscribers, and I get maybe if maybe 1,000 watch hours a year. And it's not that I haven't started. I really am coming to the terms that it's just that I just need to do, I just need to do more. But at the same time, I'm not counting my worth or anything based on like views or whatnot. It's just, I think I let opportunities slip through my hands much easier than it should have been because I didn't know. And now when things happen to like whenever some kind of stress or some new problems, or I'm gonna call them when another egg drops, I'm like, oh well, now I know how to clean it up where it doesn't stink up the place, that kind of thing. But it's still a lost egg, you're just kind of like, all right, I work on the next thing, let's keep going. So even though I didn't make much of any sales on this business, I'm using it as an opportunity to actually learn the skills. um and also it means something for me, this particular business, because it's based on my Haitian heritage. And it's stuff that I enjoy doing too. And maybe because I'm letting go even more, I feel like I'm more in tune to get like actual comic and art projects done because there's no pressure. There's some pressure, but there's not really as much anymore. And I've just gotten over the fact that my art will never be, not never. You can never say never. I take that back. My art will go where it needs to, whenever, wherever it is it goes. I just need to keep going. I just need to keep moving. And I've been looking at some of my old stuff, and yeah, there's problems with it, but I feel so much better that I actually did it. So if, sometimes you feel like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, or I don't feel like I'm good enough to do it, just do it anyways. Like you'll feel better that you did it because let's say you do it, right? And then a year or two pass by and you're like, man, this doesn't look good. But guess what? You can just redo it again, but at least you did it the first time. So, yeah. I wonder how many Haitian followers I have. So that's at least two. That's you, Riza, and Naftali, I believe. I believe. I think. So I wonder how many. Since I actually mentioned it, I'm like, hey, oh, that's a nice trifecta. Have you gone to Portuguese? I know there's been a lot of people like, let me check out Portuguese. Um, I do want to make a trip to some parts of Africa. Uh, that's not my trip for this year, but I know Ghana right now is doing Afrofuture or Afrofest. I forgot. I want to go to that one eventually, just to see things. Um, I don't know. I may or may not go to South Africa. I'm debating about Zanzibar because right now, if you look up on YouTube, like the new it place to invest money is Zanzibar right now. Before it was Belize, but I guess they gave up on Belize or whatever, which is a whole new that's like another that's a whole other kind of like emotional rant that I can get into. But I just to check out the place, I want to check those places out. Funny enough, Europe was never like my biggest thing. So I know I have family that did the whole trip around Europe. I especially have some family that been through France. I may go to France for the Angoulême comic festival. That I may do that. But after that, I don't know. Maybe because there's so many parts of like northern US that reminds me of Europe. Um, like we'll have like entire areas that's like Scandinavian or entire areas that's like old England because it's part of like New England or whatever. So it's kind of like I guess I'm not just as quick to be like, let me go see someplace that I got my fill in. But I don't know, maybe it depends. Hopefully, yeah, it depends. It depends. So you should definitely go. One of my trips this year, but that's not the trip that I'm saving for this channel. One of my trips this year is to somehow get myself over to Haiti for a little bit. Um, we shall see um, when and where I'll get myself over there. When and where. I do want to eventually make it to the south part of Haiti, but I might just do like a quick trip to the north part or something. How do I? We shall see. Mm. Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of YouTubers that I follow that well not a lot. I'm making it sound like there's a whole there probably is a lot actually, maybe. YouTubers that's been or have lived or is going there and I'm like ready to go. I do have like close friends of the family that's have recently been there a bit too because they kind of part-time live here in the States and part-time live over there. And then I follow a couple of Haitian business vlogs, so we shall see about that. Actually, I think that thumbnail was okay. my dear friends, was my alarm. I'm not sure if you heard it. I think this actually might work. No, it's not going to work. Okay, I know what to do. It was my alarm, but I probably am going to finish this up a little bit, and then I'm probably going to head on out to do a quick live stream on Instagram. Now I'm going to go on. So if there's any like quick last minute questions, maybe not quick, but if there's any like last minute questions about art, or maybe some requests about videos that you would like from me, let me know right now. Well, not right now. That sounded pretty strong, but let me know. The lines in a way where you can fill in the colors. I don't have so much Clip Studio knowledge either. If it's been a while since I last tested the program, the two things that comes to mind is you need to make sure that pretty much all of your lines close and they are like as smooth as possible, like one smooth line. Like for example, if you see, if I can show it to you, this sketchiness of the lines right here, that won't work. But if you do like solid bold lines like this, that will help you fill out your fill tool. And then I think in Clip Studio, the fill tool tolerance tends to help you with how large of a gap you can do. If it's for me, what I tend to use is the lasso tool and then fill it in without um in a different layer. But the fill bucket tool, there's an option for it to not pay attention to other layers. If I'm making sense. So I don't do Clip Studio. When I tend to put tutorials, I'm using Photoshop, but I tend to try to talk in more like general general sense, so that way you can kind of use it in all the programs. Because I've seen you're a UX designer, right? You're learning about that. I've seen the user interface for a lot of these programs, and each of them have their unique things, yes, but for the most part, most people are following like the Photoshop template, and then they might have like extra tools and like extra things that makes them unique on their own. Like Photoshop did not have like screen tone brushes up until recently, because Kyle Webb, they bought out the licensing through Kyle Webb, and now there's like some function of a halftone. Um but I make actual screen tones on Photoshop. But for Clip Studio Paint, you wouldn't need to do that because there's an auto function. But the rest of my tutorial about, maybe using screen tones in a style that makes sense, like how to render black hair digitally with screen tones, you would still understand the idea. But I try to be more general about it, if it makes sense. So if there's like a general art, video you'd like me to talk about, I could, but I don't have Clip Studio right now. So I mean, I guess I can still show it to an extent in Photoshop, and then you could translate that to Clip Studio. I don't know if I'm allowed to even have Clip Studio trial right now. Maybe I'll see. I'll see if I could. Because the way they change pricing, it's been something else. Hmm. It's been on sale for quite a bit. I could have gotten it when I first purchased it. It's just once you get used to how a program is, you just kind of like, yeah, I'm good. Like right now, I'm using Adobe Fresco. Like, for example, I have an iPad right now that was given to me by my job. And, well, not given to me, it's part of the equipment that I'm supposed to use for work. And it has, what's the one that they like to use on Adobe, on iPad? Um, Procreate. I was in there for like 2 minutes and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm so used to Adobe. They caught me. They caught me. There's another one now where, because Adobe is expensive, called Affinity. So there's like Affinity Design, Affinity Painter. Again, I was in there for like 2 minutes and then I was like, I can get my Adobe software, so I'm just gonna use that. I will say, I'm sure it's just my stubbornness because, like, I'm learning other things and I have little time, but I'm sure I could pick it up pretty quickly. But that's the other reason why I'm not into picking up Clip Studio Paint because it's like I already have Adobe, so I'm not looking for an alternative for me to bother to look it up. And plus, I do so many other things besides making comics. I do patterns for clothes. I do graphic design work on here. You just, you there's so many. And then when you send files to places, they require Adobe files anyways. So I'm like, whatever. I'm just sticking to Adobe because it's just standard. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people like Procreate, but what I like about Fresco is like it gives you all like the blended like files that you want, but then after a while, once I turn it off, right, because it's connected, I could just open Photoshop and go back and forth for specific things. So, but again, like what is it now, 70, $80 a month? Like you, in a way, it kind of forces me to really keep working because now it's like I need to get my penny and money's worth. These are some weird alien buildings, aren't they? Well, I like Fresco, so definitely give it a try. That I could probably do. Actually, I'm gonna post it in the community tab, but there's a guy that is really great with he's basically made his focus on Fresco. So I will make sure to leave that as a link, as a a link to his YouTube channel, so definitely check it out. I'm making very loose trees, but I don't know if you're still here, Amaris, but did you had your own questions that you wanted to ask before I switch over to Instagram for a little bit? If not, I'll go ahead and change in about 5 minutes. I don't like this. Trying to make buildings in the alien buildings. I may or may not do more live streams in the future too. So you guys let me know about that too. I'll probably post it in the community tab because I think part of it is just people aren't used to me doing live streams as much, but I like it. I think that's good. Oh, that's not correct. How do you draw upside down? Alrighty, folks. I think I'm gonna take a good stop for this today. I'll probably post this tomorrow. I may or may not live stream tomorrow, but either way, thank you a lot for hanging out for me. I wish you all the best New Year's. I wish you all the most productive New Year's. Well, maybe not the most productive because I would want you to continue to be productive. I will be posting perhaps things to like keep us motivated and keep things together and accountable. And I am going to have a nice little drink. I wish you guys a happy New Year's. I wish you a blessed New Year's. I wish you the best New Year's, like I said. I just wish all of us to have a calmer. Not everything will be calm, but a calmer New Year's. So, with love and all the best to you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Alrighty. Let's stop this right here. How do you stop this?